I want to introduce Murray Sabrin, who apparently is one of the only people who's running for the U.S. Senate who actually has any idea what's going on. And we have to have some voices out there talking about, you know, capitalism and the Constitution and sound money and liberty. Somebody out there that's actually saying why we're in this mess. That it's not because we let the free market run amok, but because of government. We had too much government. We strayed away from the principles of the Founding Fathers. You know, a lot of people, like on these TV shows, they think that the reason we had the Great Depression was because we were on a gold standard. You know, I mean, the level of knowledge or ignorance of basic economics, you know, on Wall Street and in Washington. I mean, it's ridiculous. So we need to get some people there that can actually articulate what's happening and give the American public some type of choice. You know, we're on the road to serfdom that von Hayek wrote about, and there's a fork. And at least, you know, one way leads to, you know, freedom and less government. And sometimes, you know, when you have a major economic crisis, during that crisis you can sow the seeds for reforms. You know, something like they did in New Zealand in the 1980s. I mean, sometimes when the government bankrupts a country, you move away from government. Of course, you know, there's always a chance that we move in the opposite direction and that we embrace government as a solution. So hopefully, you know, again, I'm going to bring on hopefully the next senator from New Jersey, Murray Sabrin, and hopefully with our support we can help elect him. Only gave up 25% of what they produced. So we're already there. So I wish we could just elevate ourselves to the level of a servant. That'd be a victory. Anyway, you know, Ron Paul, you know, one of my favorite parts of watching the Senate or the House Banking Committee, when Greenspan would come up and now Bernanke would come up, was the one time with Ron Paul. That's when I turned the volume up on my television so I can actually hear it. But yeah, I know you watch C-SPAN all the time, and you see, you watch it, they refer to themselves the distinguished gentleman from here or the honorable gentleman from here. You know, it's kind of nauseating. But probably the only person in the House who's distinguished, you know, honorable, a gentleman, any of those things has got to be Ron Paul. You know, if we had more people like Ron Paul, you know, maybe I'd be able to invest my money in America as opposed to everywhere else in the world. And of course, the biggest thing is Ron Paul. I mean, I get in debates all the time on television, but it's mostly with Republicans. I find Democrats agree with me. I mean, because the champions of this phony economy, the people who really embrace it the most, are the Republicans, and they drape themselves in the shroud of freedom and capitalism and limited government. Yet they're the ones that are saying everything is great. The Democrats are criticizing the thing. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. But when the whole thing falls apart, it's freedom and capitalism that are going to get the blame, because it's the Republicans who have been, you know, cheerleading this phony economy. All of them except Ron Paul. He's the only one that, from a free market point of view, is actually saying, hey, you know, we're on the wrong track. You know, this is wrong. So let me introduce Ron Paul.